the young people are very apathic and non-active lately. So I think it's a great accomplishment if we are able to invite and bring more people into public life.
Naslednji mesec bo se sam preselil nov uporabnik, ki bo to stavbo tudi kupil. Za razliko od vas bo upravljal zelo profitabilno dejavnost. Do konca meseca. Nasvidenja.
Kaj te ovi? Pač našla sem neke stavbe oziroma prostore, ki so v občinski lasti. In so prazni, pač nobenih ne uporablja, ne? Tako da jaz mislim, da mogoče bi se tu dalo kaj zmeniti, ali pa mislim, ne vem kako to gre, ampak en je tu čisto blizu.
We find a big problem that there are many public spaces that are empty and unused. And we wanted to bring this problem into light, and therefore we wrote this play, a short play that could present this problem to a larger audience.
To plac je pa res ful dober. Kako se res dobi prostor, ki je v občinski lasti?
This is a scene from a theater play, but it's also a real situation. It's just an example of the problems that prevent people from actively participating in their community. It could have happened anywhere, even here. This is Koper, a town in the coast of Slovenia. 25,000 inhabitants, mild winters, warm summers. Thanks to its status of head town of Western Slovenia, Koper has all the ingredients for a rich community life. Nevertheless, our youth is not as active as we would like it to be. They rarely attend public meetings or gatherings, and a quarter of our youngsters aged 15 to 29 are not involved in the public life at all. Usually the best way to solve your problems is to look at yourself from the distance, from a new, wider perspective. So we went to Brussels, where we had the opportunity to exchange knowledge and experiences with people from other European countries who confront similar situations. From the heart of Europe, we could see the big picture and search our place in it. Brussels is a lively city, full with people from all nationalities and cultures. In order to find our reflection in this collage of peoples, first we wanted to know what we have in common. So we asked the people what it means for them to be European.
For me it's a mix of European cultures, to see other cultures and to travel easier.
Being open to other countries, to other people. Like Europe is not one big country, but it has a more feeling of being together than just one country.
Avec nos pays voisins, proches et un peu moins proches, il y a une certaine culture commune avec avec les régionalités propres, mais oui, je pense, oui.
Qu'il y a une ouverture européenne, que les gens d'autres pays peuvent venir y travailler, ou nous allons ailleurs.
In my personal opinion, is the diversity. Really, is United University is a motto of EU, and I really feel it.
Donc maintenant, tout le monde vit plus ou moins pareil quand même. On prend des standards qui viennent des autres pays. On essaye un peu de s'adapter à notre monde. Par exemple, aujourd'hui, on trouvera rarement des choses qui sont typiques d'un pays, très très fort marquées dans un pays.
Most of the people agree with the fact that European culture exists in a certain way, always relying on its inner diversity. But the way how we view the European Union changes radically from country to country, especially among the newcomers. In Slovenia, more than half of the population doesn't think that their voice counts in Europe, and not even 25% of the voters actually voted in the last European election. Why is that?
In Belgium, Luxembourg, people are more aware of the EU because all institutions are based here. So EU has been present for them, for citizens, for the last 60 years. So it's different. This is part of their everyday life, more than for a country like Slovenia that's been a member for now almost 11 years. So I think it also takes time.
I think it's growing because people are more aware on that. Maybe in some old states they are more conscious about that, and as we are a new member state, I think we didn't yet get so deep into it, and I think wherever we are in Europe we should feel the same.
I see when I go back to Slovenia, in general when I speak to people, my friends, they don't know what's going on. They usually, the average Slovenian has difficulties to even enumerate the major EU institutions.
Their task is also through the communication strategy, to promote EU in the way to promote and to explain what is EU exactly for them, how is EU impacts to their daily lives.
The voter turnout, especially the low voter turnout that we experienced lately, I think it's symptomatic not only for the European elections but also for the national elections. Because in my country, in Slovenia, we also see very few people, less than before, to attend national parliamentary elections. I think this is related to the disillusionment of people with the current situation and with politicians in general.
So maybe what we are looking at is a part of a bigger problem. Do people really trust the democratic institutions?
Oui, mais j'ai pas l'impression que les votes servent à quelque chose, moi à mon niveau. J'ai l'impression que c'est quand même toujours les mêmes partis qui reviennent et voilà. Et on ne sait pas si c'est nécessaire, enfin, c'est obligatoire, mais est-ce que ça va changer? Voilà. Je ne l'ai pas vu depuis quelques années, ça n'a rien changé en fait.
It's every time the same thing. They say we are in the democracy. We can vote for the people we like, but they never respect our voices. So I don't really believe in democracy here and in politics here because they never respect what they say. And they follow the rules of the finance. So are we really in democracy? I don't know.
I think politicians know their way how to be trusted. Maybe people trust them, I certainly don't. And I think a lot of people shouldn't. Because that's the essence of politics. It's lie.
Je crois qu'on n'est pas toujours d'accord avec ce qu'ils émettent comme jugement, comme avis et comme aide, mais bon, je ne sais pas quelle est la possibilité et l'outil qu'on pourrait utiliser pour.
They just take decisions at the end of the day, so without really involving the citizenship or how they feel. You just think or assume that that's a good thing for them to do, so that they don't really involve the citizen in the decision making.
I'd say it'd be nice to be able to rely on them in a lot of cases, but in a lot of cases I don't think that you can, unfortunately. I think that sometimes they're a little too big to really focus on community problems.
We think not maybe just on politicians, but we think that somebody else will solve our problems. And we think our own responsibility maybe sometimes is just to go one time every 4 years to vote. Somebody don't do even that.
The biggest problem I think in my country generally is that youth are so passive, and generally they are not well informed about their possibilities, how they can get involved in society.
So, if in general we distrust politicians and institutions, what prevents us to seek for a deep change? Is it fear or laziness?
No, it's fear. Because the media give this fear, really. I work for the media and I know how they can concentrate the people to feel fear, to be just in a really closed way. So it's easy, if the people feel fear, they're going to believe everything. So it's easy to manipulate them?
I would say it's fear, because we're afraid of changes and differences, and I think laziness is a part of this actually, because we like to be lazy. Because if we're lazy, then we stay in our comfort zone, we do what we do every day, and therefore nothing changes. And we are in this bubble, this safe bubble, in which we think we are free, but we're actually closing ourselves in all the time.
I think fear, because especially in my country is like that they want something to change, but then you think like, okay, we don't want to fight with our rights, because for example, our friends or our parents will lose a job or will lose the possibility to do at all some things that they have done so far. But also laziness is, I think, for Balkan countries and especially Montenegro, is one characteristic for all citizens.
I think laziness. Yeah, because sometimes fear can be solved, but maybe laziness sometimes it's really difficult, because you can have the will to do something, but then it's difficult to find 5 more persons to help you. Mostly people are complaining also there are no activity, nothing's happening locally, but there are, if you look really precisely, a lot of activities done each day by different organizations. So I think if you have at least a small will, that you can join different things and really make a difference.
Here we're trying to make a space where you can come and create something without having to rent something, without any profit. We're working on a base from benefits only, and we're trying new ways of organization, of politics, if I can call it like that, from downside in every way, in every direction.
Maybe the first day we were in 4, but the next day we were in 8, and every day more people come to clean the space, and more the space was cleaned, more the space was prepared for some activities, more people join us, and now we are about 40 to 60 people, active people. It's nice to see that more and more people start to make something and join us when they saw that it's possible to make something out of total trash.
There wasn't a plan initially, but a plan then came into action. Then we sit down and we made a manifest, we made a codex of acting, of behaving and everything. And it became a plan. In the beginning it was just spontaneous, everything. We're planning here from exhibitions, workshops, concerts, bigger, smaller concerts, acoustic concerts, jam sessions, round tables, debates, everything you can imagine.
This is our most recent example of a grassroots movement in Cooperative, which started to feel a need for the community and disregarded the institutions. Whether this is a viable solution or not is an old matter of discussion, but in our quest for a long-term solution, we wanted to know if the change, the initiative, should come from the people or from the institutions.
I think it can come from either way. I think it depends. It depends on the community, it depends on the culture, on where the change comes from. But you know, I think the change is always important as long as it's change in a positive way. You know, so whether it comes from the people on what we call a grassroots movement where everybody comes together as a community and works towards a goal, or whether people work through their governments and vote and things and it actually works the way it's supposed to and comes from the top down. As long as the end goal is the betterment of the society and of the community, then I think it's a good thing.
It's easier to operate if this isn't formalized and institutionalized.
La citoyenneté a besoin des institutions pour aider quand même aussi, pour orienter probablement aussi. On ne peut pas faire ça propre personne, je crois.
Institutions probably can do things better, can manage them, organize them better than individuals can.
Les institutions quand même, hein, oui. Parce que nous, on les suit, quoi. C'est eux à eux d'organiser, de faire en sorte de favoriser l'accès, que ce soit beaucoup plus facile pour que les gens puissent venir, que ce soit au niveau financier, au niveau travail, à tout niveau en fait. Parce que nous, seuls, tout petits, on ne sait pas faire grand-chose. Hein.
I don't think that it will be a viable solution if it comes from institution, because we know what institution gave us so far. I think everybody is disappointed by the institution. Look at what happened in France. Look at what happened in Greece. Look at what happened here. I think the solution at the end of the day is going to come from all the citizens and not from the institution, because at least for me, I have a complete mistrust in the institution. I hope the solution doesn't come from them, actually.
Si c'est uniquement les supérieurs qui vont essayer de sensibiliser les gens, ils vont le faire dans leur propre intérêt aussi un petit peu pour se donner une bonne image. Donc souvent, comme les politiques font, ils sont là, bon voilà, on va faire ceci, cela, et au final, les gens croient, ils sont contents, mais ça se fait pas vraiment. Donc je pense que ça doit venir des deux côtés, comme ça marche dans les deux sens, que ça doit venir des gens qui ont peut-être pas grand-chose, mais qui essayent quand même de donner aux autres, mais ça doit aussi venir d'en haut et qu'ils se disent, voilà, moi j'ai une place plus importante dans la société, donc je vais faire quelque chose pour ceux qui sont plus bas.
I think it should be both ways. So from the top, you should have some help with preparation of something, if you need the documentation or anything that they are available. But also I think the best idea come from bottom-up approach, so with the local citizens deciding what is of their best interest for the local community.
Without taking into account where the change comes from, what should we as citizens do?
When you find out that you need something more and that nobody can give it to you, you start to be active, you start to think, and then you realize that many people has the same problem, and many people need the same thing as you need, and this is what connects us.
Unity. Just unity between all the people. And think we need to share. We see people more rich or more poor, we need to share to make a balance, really. If you see your neighbor and has some problems, help your neighbors. Don't stay like that and look at the problems of the people and doing nothing. There is a lot of things we can do. But for that we need a union, really, and mentality need to change.
The biggest problem is mentality, in my opinion, but what we can change is like through the project that we do in our society, and that we can involve especially youth, because they are new generation that will educate new generation that they are coming, and that's the only way how we can do.
The only way we can really make a difference in the world is to give our best, to do what we can do best, and to bring other people to really fight for what they believe in.
Some people say if it works, let it be, but why not improve it?
The recipe for being active is just to be active. It doesn't matter in which field you work or study, it doesn't matter where you come from or where you go. It doesn't matter whether you act locally, nationally, continentally, or if you work with or without institutional help. Share your ideas and experiences with your neighbors and learn from theirs, no matter if they live in the next house or 5,000 kilometers away. Claim the power of small and start constructing Europe from its foundations.